Okay, great. So welcome everybody. This is our final month of classes for the time being, and I've chosen the theme of power this month because I've been thinking very much from a personal perspective about moving into my power and owning my teaching a little bit more, which is why I'm taking a hiatus so that I can really feel into what's going to serve not just the students but me as well, to transition my teaching. So helping you also through this month, I hope to really kind of tap into your personal power with these classes and just begin to become aware of how you can have power within the body, which can support your freedom in both the mind, and then how that reflects back into our lives outside of the body, the physical body. We're going to have a little look today at the core muscles, because the kind of seat of our power, when we look at the chakra system, is the third chakra, the Manipura chakra, which is the one that sits just behind your belly button, just above and slightly behind your belly button. So often associated with this kind of core area. And if you've worked with me for a while, you've probably heard me talking bits about this before, but you've got your rectus abdominals, which is the kind of six-pack muscles which come up the front of the body. And then you've got those deeper TVA, we call them, the transverse abdominals, which connect and wrap all the way around the body. So like this huge band, which are very, very thin, but they're actually the muscles that we need to think a little bit more about to support the lower back. If you imagine your six-pack, your rectus abdominal muscles, you crunch them too much, and there's you're building them so they're super strong, but what happens when you build them so much is that you become constricted in the front a little here, because they're super tight. So what happens is you move the spine into this this flexed position kind of more permanently, which is something actually that you want to avoid. So taking the awareness into the deeper muscles, the TVA, which is this big band of muscles that wrap around here, is really what I want to focus on today. And I often use the cue cinching around the waist or drawing around the waist, or I quite like to imagine sometimes I've got a corset around me and someone's pulling it tight. So it's not just on the front body here, but it's on the back as well. Anyway, we'll get going. And for those of you that haven't joined for a few months, I've been using some music as well recently, which is exciting. So I'll DJ as we're going. You can choose this first little kind of moment of pause to open the practice, either to have a brick and place it underneath your belly button. For some people, this might be quite strong. You want to be off the rib cage and above the hip points, so making sure that you're not on the bone, but bringing the belly button just down onto a brick. If that feels too much for you, you can take your blanket or your towel and you can roll that up and have that there instead. And then wherever you choose to be, I'm actually going to lower mine onto its lowest height today. Wherever you choose to be, whether you're on your brick or on your roll, you're going to bring your hands down underneath your forehead, and we're just going to pause here initially. So get yourself set up, take a couple of deep breaths in here. And as you breathe in and out on the brick or the roll, I want you to begin to just sense the tension that you can be aware of in that area. As I mentioned, too much tension in this area will create spinal flexion. And we want to avoid too much of that, because that will draw us into this kind of curled position permanently, or more permanently, let's say. But then too little tension in this belly area will also mean that we go into hyperlordosis, which means that the pelvis kind of falls forward a little bit. So what we want to create through our practice is this kind of Goldilocks point, this sweet spot right in the middle where we're strong, but also flexible. Wherever you are here on your belly, just breathing in so you can feel the belly push against the prop. Breathing out, feel the prop push back into the belly. Do that 3 or 4 more times. Just really becoming aware of how much tension you're carrying in that belly area. And that seat of our power, our willpower. Good, we'll take 1 more breath. And then just tuck your toes and shift yourself back to a child's pose. You can move your prop off your mat. Extending the arm forward. Have a little bit of space between the legs so you can just feel the belly kind of soften between the thighs. Just noticing for yourself that impression that has been left by the prop. Compression that we were creating, and now this opening here in child's pose. On a very gentle in-breath, you're going to bring yourself all the way up and over onto your belly, completely down now onto the floor. Keep the hands by the rib cage. And then just gently draw yourself up into a baby cobra. And as you do, feel that seat of your power, that length through the belly on the front side. Breathing out, releasing back to your mat. Tucking your toes, downward facing dog as you exhale. You might want to pedal the heels for a couple of breaths or shift the hips from side to side for a couple of breaths. Especially if it's your first down dog of the week or the month. And then come back to a still position and just begin to think about these muscles I've been talking about. Take a little micro bend through your knees so you're not hyperextending in the knee. And then just feel that kind of drawing in of the front ribs. So your rectus abdominals are beginning to engage, but you want to avoid them engaging too much. And then at the same time, drawing in around the waist completely, so front, back, and sides. Imagine someone's drawing the corsets in and around your waist. Good, take another breath. Lovely. Looking between your hands, bend your knees. You're going to jump or step yourself forward and bring yourself straight down onto your back. Lowering all the way down. You're going to take your knees up above your hips. Squeeze your inner knees and your inner ankles together. You can take your arms out, either in a cactus shape or in a T shape. And then just take a moment again to connect to those core muscles. So think about that drawing in around the waist. You want to avoid a hyperlordosis here in your lower back, which means that kind of tilting forward of your pelvis where you can feel an arch off the ground. That drawing in around the waist will help just to lengthen the spine a little bit and create some support for the lower back. Good, now keep that, inhale. And as you exhale, begin to take both of your legs over towards the right side, just hovering them off the ground. Inhaling, coming back through center. Exhaling left side. Good. Inhaling center. Exhaling right side. Inhaling center. Exhaling left side. Good. Drawing in around the waist. Exhaling right side. Really keep that focus on that trunk area around the belly button. Keep rooting the shoulders and the back of the head into the ground so they're really stable. We'll take one more on each side. Good. Now come back to center. You can take a momentary hug of the knees in towards your chest. Maybe circling them around. And then taking the hands and just placing them underneath the back of your head. Keeping your elbows wide. Taking both legs up towards the sky and kicking through your heels. Same thing here. Just notice what's happening through the lower back. Try and flatten the back of the pelvis in towards the floor, and then same thing, cinching around your waist, draw in, kind of hug the hip points towards each other. Breathe in here, and then as you breathe out, you're very slowly, without letting go of those core muscles, going to lower your right heel towards the floor for a hover. Good, now keep kicking away through both heels here, so it's like a little scissoring. Keep drawing in around your waist. Releasing the head into the hands. One more breath. Lovely. Inhale, bring that right foot up. Exhale, your left foot's going to come down for a hover. And again, just an inch or so off the mat. Kick through your heels, drawing around your waist. Send your head into your hands. Take another couple of breaths. Good, and then we'll begin to flow. So breathing in, bring that left leg up. Breathing out, right leg comes down for a hover. Inhale, drawing it up. Left leg down for a hover. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, right leg down for a hover. Inhale, draw it up. Left side. Right side. Final time on the left side, breathing in and then breathing out. Knees can come into the chest, crossing the ankles. This time we'll rock and roll ourselves all the way back up to our downward facing dog. Again, once you're there, just focus on the core, drawing in around your waist. Soften your knees, my friends. Looking forward, you're going to step or jump yourself all the way to the top of your mat. Lift your spine up halfway, coming to Ardha Uttanasana, and then think about the front ribs. Try and draw them in. At the same time, lengthen your spine, draw in around your waist. Exhale, bow. Push through your feet. We'll come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring the hands down into prayer. We'll take 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar A, really focusing on this big band of core muscles. Trying to keep them engaged so you can really sense that support, that power. Breathing the arms high. Breathing out, hinging and folding over. Lifting up halfway, inhale, plant the hands, and then stepping or jumping yourself back to plank. Now take a pause in plank, take a breath, send your heels back and your heart forward, and then draw in around the waist. Keep that power in your core as you begin to lower full body to the floor. Untuck your toes. Cobra or an up dog, inhale, and then downward facing dog as you exhale. 3 breaths. Final breath. Good, lovely. Using your power, soften your knees, gaze forward, step or jump back to the top of your mat. Lifting up halfway, breathing in, breathing out to fold. Come to standing, inhale, exhale, release the hands. Second round, here we go. Drawing around your waist as you lift your arms up. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, stepping or jumping back. Same thing, take a momentary breath in plank and just think about those two muscle groups that we're talking about. Too much rectus abdominal work will cause us to look a little bit like this. You want to find that sweet spot of lengthening the spine and drawing in around your waist. Good, lovely. Keep that as you lower all the way to the floor. Exhale. And tuck your toes, curling up. Cobra, up dog. Inhale. Downward facing. 3 breaths. Rain is falling into my mouth. Flowers blooming all up and down. I found in and through the body. Good, final breath. Looking forward, bend the knees, transitioning back to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale to bow. Good, coming all the way to standing, breathing in, releasing the hands, breathing out. Third time through, here we go, lift the arms. As you lift up, ground through your feet, really cinch in around your waist. Get as long as you possibly can. Hug your outer hips in and down, and then slowly fold. Exhale. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, stepping or jumping back plank. Momentary pause, take a breath. Have a little play with those core muscles so you can find that sweet spot of support as you lower down. Exhale. Untucking your toes, inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, downward facing. 3 breaths. How can creating some awareness in this core area help to drive you forward? Connect to that power, that will. What is it that you actually want in life? Can you give yourself permission to step forward out of fear? Good, gazing between the hands, bending the knees, stepping or jumping to the top of the mat. Leaving that fear behind and moving from your will to power. Bowing down, exhale. Feeding the heart as you come all the way up to standing. Take the hands down and then just place them over the belly button. Tapping into that fire center. What have you already become aware of through this practice? One more breath. Good, lovely. Drawing up, inhale, arms high, ground through your feet. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. This time, step yourself back to plank and hold. We're going to take some little shoulder taps. So I want you to make sure that you're not dropping the hips here or lifting them too high up, but also that you're avoiding this kind of rounding of the spine that I'm demonstrating. So you want to find that sweet spot of support. A little bit of an engagement through rectus abdominals, and then a cinching in around the waist to support transverse abdominals. Send your heels back. And then without really moving the body at all, you're going to take your right hand and tap it to your left shoulder. And then you're going to switch. Good, couple more. Woo. Final time. Come back to plank. Lower your knees. Roll all the way down onto your belly. Curling up, cobra, up dog, inhale. Down dog or maybe a child's pose if you need it. 5 breaths. Good, final breath. If you're in a down dog, bring your knees down to join us in child's pose. And then we're going to take our hands down the sides of the body. Create fists with your hands. And you're going to push the backs of your palms into the mat. So you're in your child's pose, you're pushing the backs of your hands into the ground. It's beginning to sense some activation through the shoulders. And then very slowly, keeping the backs of your hands on the ground, you're going to begin to roll yourself up to kneeling. You'll notice that you probably won't be able to go very far. I want you to draw in around the waist here. Drop the head. Keep pushing the back of your hands into the mat. Take another breath. And then release. Inhale, come all the way up to kneeling. Take your hands behind you, point your fingers forward. And then from your belly button, lift up. Lift your buttocks off your heels. Push down through your shins. Take another inhale. Good. Exhale, release. Heels to bottom. Downward facing dog. Step yourself all the way back. Breathing in, my friends, taking your right leg up behind you for scissor dog. Kick through your heel. Make sure that the hips are square, so it might mean your leg doesn't come as high. Draw in around your waist, push into your hands. Good, and then take your right knee and pull it in towards your chest, flying plank, and then step the foot through. Ground down through your feet, coming up to crescent lunge. Use the power of the hip to bring you up rather than the muscles in the back. Taking your arms all the way up overhead. Now just think about those key muscles that we're working with today as you hold in your crescent lunge. There's a little bit of an engagement of rectus abdominals, but really we're cinching in around the waist here. Tailbone lengthens down. Now keep that drawing in around your waist, and then breathe out and fold yourself halfway forward, taking your arms back behind you into arrow pose. We're going to hold. Keep drawing in around the waist. Keep lengthening forward through the crown of your head, kicking back through your left heel.
The repetition of my
Good, couple more breaths.
Something I play over and over again, and it's like a little song that keeps me on track.
Lovely. Inhale, come back up to crescent. As you exhale, we're going to turn towards the left foot, coming down into goddess pose. Exhale. Taking your hands behind your head, interlace the fingers. Elbows are wide. Sending the head back into the hands. Good. Breathing in here. As you breathe out, you're going to tap your right elbow towards your right knee and then come back to center. Same thing. Right elbow, right knee. Coming back to center. We'll do another 1,000. Same elbow and same knee. Okay, a couple more. Good, final time. Lovely. Now turn your front toes forward, back toes in 45 degrees, bend into your right knee. And then release that left hand towards the back leg as you take your right arm up and over behind you, reverse to warrior. Good, couple more breaths. Inhale, spiraling the hands back down. Right leg steps back behind you, maybe a three-legged plank, or just a plank if it feels too much. Notice what's happening through the core. Draw in, and then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untucking the toes. Cobra up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths as you exhale.
Always see the dangers first.
2 more breaths.
Always protect your feet. You always be ready for cold. Always be ready for heat. Always know where good water resource is.
Good, breathing in, bring the knees to the mat. Breathing out, sit back into child's pose, create fists with your hands again. Bring the backs of the hands onto the floor. And then just beginning to push the backs of the hands into the mat.
Always rest whenever you can.
Feeling the shoulders activate. Keep pushing the backs of the hands into the mat as you begin to roll up into a kneeling position. When you get to that kind of
10 fingers, 10 miles.
as far as you can, keeping the hands on the mat, take a couple of breaths. Good, and then release, come all the way up to kneeling, hands behind you, fingers point forward from your core muscles, from that Manipura chakra right behind your belly, lift up. Feel your body being lit as yellow. With every breath, there's this brightness, this power forming through your system. Good. Engage your belly, come all the way up and over. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale, my friends, left leg is going to scissor up behind you. Take a couple of breaths, kick back through that left heel, drawing around your waist. And then step that left foot through between the hands, coming up for crescent, same thing. Ground through the feet. Bring yourself all the way up. And then have that little play of support. So notice what happens when you really crunch rectus abdominals and you bring this posterior tuck into the body. Find that sweet spot, drawing around your waist. Inhale, and then as you exhale, leaning halfway forward, put your arms back behind you, kick back through your right heel, lengthen the crown of the head forward, holding. Final breath. Inhale, come back to crescent. Exhale, goddess pose towards your right foot. Sit yourself down. Track your knees over the center of your feet. And then take your hands behind your head. Send your head into your hands, drawing around your waist, sit a little bit lower. Inhale here. As you exhale, tap your left elbow to your left knee. Coming back to center, inhaling, exhaling to tap. Good, let's do 2 more. Lovely, and then turn your left toes forward, right toes in a fraction, bend into that left knee, release your right arm down your right leg, left arm up and over, reverse your warrior. Good, final breath. Inhale, spiral your hands to the mat. Set your left leg back, maybe a 3-legged plank if you're feeling super powerful today. And then exhale, lower. Good, curling up. Up dog or cobra, inhale. Downward facing. Good, lovely, one more breath. And we're going to take ourselves back to the top of the mat. Bend deeply into your knees, gazing forward, stepping or jumping up. Lifting up halfway, breathing in, breathing out, bowing over. Good, we'll roll ourselves all the way up to standing. Take your arms high, inhale. And then drawing in around the waist, as you exhale, you're going to sit yourself back into chair pose. And I really want you to keep drawing in around the waist. Remember, what happens when we avoid doing that is that we have this hyperlordosis. So we are really bringing compression here into our lower back. You can see in my back. So think about tailbone lengthening down, drawing in around the waist, and then sit a little bit lower. Take another breath. Inhale here. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Good, lovely. Inhale, we're going to come all the way back up into our chair pose. Exhale, bring your hands into prayer, cinching around the waist. Inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to tap your left elbow inside of your right knee. Come back to center. Tap right elbow inside of left knee. Center, tap. Center, tap. Center, tap. Center, tap. Couple more. Good, final time. Folding forward, exhale. Ooh. Release the legs. Good, gazing halfway up, inhale. Stepping or jumping yourself back, plank or chaturanga. And then lowering to the floor, exhaling. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhaling to release. Pushing back down, dog or child's pose. Up to you.
Follow the sun, and which way the wind blows when this day is done.
Good, one more standing sequence, and then we're going to come towards the floor. Bring yourself back to down dog. Exhale there. Gazing between your hands, stepping or jumping yourselves forward. Lifting up halfway, breathing in. Breathing out, bow. Come all the way up to standing. Inhale. Keep your arms lifted, cinching around your waist. Ground through your feet. Bring your big toes to touch. Your heels are slightly apart. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, sit yourself back into chair pose again. Draw your hands down into prayer, and then as you exhale, you're going to take your left elbow outside of your right knee. Lift your left sit bone up a little so that the knees are parallel, and then lengthen the spine forward, drawing around your waist. Keep lengthening the spine forward. Bring the weight into the right foot. Hug your inner knees together as you lift your left foot off the ground. And then stepping that left foot all the way back behind us. Shifting. A few more breaths. Good, you're going to gracefully plant your left foot on the floor, spiral towards that left side, straighten your right leg, reverse triangle. And then inhaling, coming all the way back up, take both laps to the sky, ground through both feet, and begin to extend forward into triangle, pulling your left hip back, trying to keep your trunk and your arms as long as you can. Good, take a couple more breaths. Right hand to right shin, exhale, triangle.
What does your heart say?
Lovely, either down dog or a vinyasa, you can choose. Maybe a three-legged plank as you flow, if you're flowing. Good, second side, gaze between your hands, step or jump yourself forward, lifting up halfway, breathing in, breathing out to fold. Come all the way back to standing, make sure your big toes are touching and your heels are slightly apart. Keep the arms extended up towards the ceiling, drawing around your waist, think of those TVA, transverse abdominis. Good, ground through your feet. Inhale, and then as you exhale, chair pose. Keep drawing in around your waist. Right elbow is going to hook out the side of left knee. Getting long through your spine, drawing around your waist. One more breath. Good, place your weight into your left foot. Hover your right foot off the ground. Look forward. And then take that right leg all the way back behind you. Rotating, exhaling. Good, 2 more breaths. One more breath. Reverse triangle is where we're heading. Place your right foot on the ground. Spiral yourself towards the right side. Straighten your left leg. Now keep grounding into your feet. Bring both arms directly up towards the ceiling. Pull the right hip back, drawing around your waist. Really focusing on the core here. And then lowering yourself in towards triangle pose. Keeping that trunk long. Push into that left big toe. Push down and back into the outside edge of your right foot. One more breath. And then regular triangle, left hand down, right arm up. Good, final vinyasa, my friends. You can choose what poses suit your power today. Maybe it's a three-legged plank. Maybe then a three-legged chaturanga. Keep drawing in around your waist. And then up dog. Back to down dog. Good, gazing between your hands, jumping yourself all the way through. You're going to take a little twist to the feet. I want you to take your brick and you're just going to place your brick outside of your right shin. Legs are extended in front of you. Remove the flesh from underneath the buttock. And then just very casually, you're going to take your left leg across. Just pop your leg on your brick. You could use a blanket or anything really. Pretty lazy. Good. Then you're going to just bring your right arm across that left leg. Get your left hand behind you. I want you to draw in around your waist as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you're rotating. Try to avoid pushing yourself right to your end range of motion here. Good, couple more breaths. And then bringing this right elbow a little bit further down, so you're more on the tricep. See if you can bring your left hand into prayer. Keep lengthening the spine, keep drawing it around the waist. And then exhaling, twisting again. You'll notice you get into a slightly different part of the hips. You might not be able to come as far in the twist. That's okay. Drawing around your waist, breathe in. Breathe out, use the traction. Right elbow on left thigh. Good, breathing in. Breathing out, we'll unravel. We'll switch sides. So just take the brick across to that left shin, outside of the left calf. And then just very casually, the right calf is going to come and sit on it. Take your left arm and just bring it across the right thigh, right hand behind you. Staying upright to begin with, ground through your sit bones. Drawing around your waist. Inhale here. Exhale, you're twisting. Good, one more breath. We're going to take it a little bit deeper. Sliding your left tricep down. So you're using the tricep to push into the right thigh. Hands come into prayer. Drawing around your waist, lengthen your spine. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Good, couple more breaths. Inhale, unravel. Exhale, we're just going to fold straight forward, Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. If you want to, you could take your brick, place it under your forehead. Be here for about a minute. Final breath here. Rolling down. If you've got the prop, just move it off to the side. And then we'll come to the back. And if you're feeling really powerful, you can come through boat pose. And then very slowly, using the core, keep drawing in around the waist. Keeping the spine as long as you can. Slowly, slowly. Lowering yourself down. Once you're there, bridge pose. Bend the knees, feet flat on the floor. Ground down through the feet, curling up. Once you're there, drawing around your waist. Push the feet into the ground, really actively drawing around your waist. If you can sense any compression in your lower back, soften the top of your glute max. Try and squeeze the bottom part. If you need to stick your fingers in that bum crease to help you sense it, and just stick your fingers in. Take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly releasing it. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet are going to come together. Knees will fall wide. And then just placing the hands lightly over the belly button here as we hold. As you place the hands over that belly area, beginning to observe a warm light there. A glowing power just behind the belly button. And just very gently, my friends, you're going to begin to extend your legs out for Shavasana. And keep the hands just over the belly button if that feels powerful. And as you breathe in, sense that warm glowing light just behind your belly button, beginning to get bigger and brighter. With every in-breath, it grows and grows. With every in-breath, it grows and grows until your whole body is lit as yellow. With every in-breath, it grows and grows until your whole body is lit as yellow. And when you feel your whole body lit as yellow, breathe in again. Stretch the arms overhead behind you and take a deep stretch through the whole body. As you breathe out, just turning yourselves over to the side so you can push up towards the seat. And we've really begun to stimulate this seat of our power today. So let's place the hands one more time just over that belly area. There's a recognition of that power. As you take yourself off the mat this week, my friends, allow that to be your guide. Rather than power over anyone, power to step forward into your light. What is it that serves you on this pathway of life? And how can you honor that in your day to day? This is the yoga. Bow the forehead in toward the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a really lovely week, and I will see you next week.